Steve Jobs. The name alone evokes innovation, sleek design, and a revolution in the way we interact with technology. His influence is felt in every corner of the digital world, from the devices we use to the way we communicate and entertain ourselves. But behind the iconic turtlenecks and charismatic keynotes lies a story of a complex and driven individual, shaped by a unique set of experiences. His journey was not just about technology, but about a relentless pursuit of perfection and a vision that transcended the ordinary. This is a journey back in time, to the heart of Silicon Valley in the making, where a young Steve Jobs' path was paved with curiosity, rebellion, and an unyielding belief in his own vision. It was a time of great change and opportunity, and Jobs was at the forefront, ready to seize it. Born in 1955, Jobs' story begins not in a conventional family setting, but with a selfless act of love adoption. His biological parents made a difficult decision, one that would ultimately lead to a life of extraordinary impact. This decision, made by two individuals who couldn't have known the impact they would have, set the stage for a life that would change the technological landscape forever. Paul and Clara Jobs, his adoptive parents, provided a nurturing environment that allowed young Steve to explore his interests and talents. Growing up in the heart of what would become Silicon Valley, Jobs was exposed to the burgeoning world of electronics from an early age. This environment was a fertile ground for his budding interests, where innovation was not just encouraged, but celebrated. His adoptive father, Paul, a machinist by trade, instilled in him a love for working with his hands and an appreciation for craftsmanship. This hands-on experience was invaluable, teaching Jobs the importance of precision and quality in everything he did. This early exposure to the world of making and building things would prove crucial in shaping Jobs' design sensibilities and his obsession with creating products that were not only functional but also beautiful. His meticulous attention to detail and aesthetic sense became hallmarks of his work. As we delve into the formative years of Steve Jobs, we'll uncover the key influences that molded him into the visionary leader we know him as today. From his early encounters with technology, to the mentors and experiences that shaped his thinking, every step of his journey contributed to the legacy he left behind. Jobs' adoptive parents, Paul and Clara, played a pivotal role in nurturing his inquisitive mind and shaping his early years. They fostered his early interest in electronics. Paul, with his mechanical skills and passion for tinkering, introduced Jobs to the intricacies of electronics in their garage workshop, a place that would become a sanctuary for young Steve. These early lessons in soldering, dismantling, and rebuilding radios ignited a spark in young Steve, teaching him the value of hands-on learning and experimentation. This laid the foundation for his future fascination with technology. Clara, a warm and loving homemaker, instilled in him the importance of education and the joy of learning. She encouraged his creative pursuits and recognized his intelligence and determination early on, always supporting his endeavors. Clara and Paul fostered an environment where his curiosity could flourish. The Jobs family dynamic, while not without its challenges, provided a stable and supportive environment for Steve to explore his interests and passions. This nurturing atmosphere allowed him to develop his unique talents. However, Jobs' adoption also had a profound impact on his sense of self and his outlook on life. The knowledge that he was given up for adoption instilled in him a deep-seated need to prove himself, to show the world his worth. This underlying drive fueled his ambition and desire to make a mark on the world, pushing him to strive for greatness. It contributed to his relentless pursuit of excellence in all his endeavors. The circumstances of his birth, rather than defining him, became a source of motivation, pushing him to achieve extraordinary things and leave a lasting legacy. From a young age, Steve Jobs exhibited a streak of independence and a disregard for convention that would define his persona. He possessed a natural curiosity and a thirst for knowledge that often clashed with the traditional education system. School, with its rigid structures and emphasis on rote learning, felt stifling to his inquisitive mind. He often questioned authority, challenging his teachers and pushing the boundaries of acceptable behavior. This rebellious streak, while sometimes causing friction, stemmed from a deep-seated belief in his own intuition and a refusal to conform to societal norms. He was drawn to ideas and experiences that challenged the status quo, a trait that would later become synonymous with his approach to technology and design. This rebellious nature was not simply a phase, it was an integral part of his personality that fueled his creativity and drive. He wasn't afraid to challenge conventional thinking, to question the way things were done. This willingness to think differently, to see beyond the obvious, would become a defining characteristic of his leadership style and a key ingredient in Apple's later success. Section 4. Homestead High and Beyond Education, a Different Path. Jobs' educational journey was far from conventional, marked by a series of unique choices and experiences. While attending Homestead High School in Cupertino, he excelled in subjects that piqued his interest, like electronics and literature, but often found himself at odds with the traditional school environment, feeling constrained by its rigid structure. He gravitated towards classes that allowed him to explore his creativity and technical skills, often seeking knowledge and inspiration outside the confines of the classroom, where he felt more liberated. His interest in electronics led him to join the Hewlett-Packard Explorer Club, where he had the opportunity to interact with engineers and tinker with cutting-edge technology, gaining hands-on experience. This early exposure to the world of Silicon Valley innovation further fueled his passion for electronics and exposed him to the endless possibilities of technology, sparking his imagination. Despite his intellectual curiosity, Jobs' formal education took an unconventional turn. He dropped out of Reed College after just one semester, finding the structured academic environment stifling and uninspiring, unable to cater to his unique learning style. However, his decision to drop out wasn't a rejection of learning, it was a testament to his belief in forging his own path, a path that resonated with his personal vision. He continued to audit classes that interested him, including a calligraphy course that would later influence the design of Apple's fonts, demonstrating his lifelong commitment to pursuing knowledge on his own terms, always driven by curiosity and passion. Section 5. The Counterculture's Embrace, Shaping a Rebellious Spirit. The 1960s were a time of profound social and cultural upheaval, and the San Francisco Bay Area stood at the epicenter of this transformative era. The counterculture movement, with its emphasis on individuality, questioning authority, and exploring alternative lifestyles, had a profound impact on Jobs' worldview. He was drawn to its ideals of personal liberation, its rejection of materialism, and its embrace of creativity and self-expression. He immersed himself in the music, art, and literature of the time, attending concerts, exploring Eastern philosophies, and experimenting with psychedelic drugs. These experiences broadened his horizons, challenging his perceptions and shaping his views on life, society, and the pursuit of happiness. The counterculture's emphasis on challenging the status quo resonated deeply with Jobs' own rebellious nature. It affirmed his belief in thinking differently, in questioning conventional wisdom, and in pursuing his own path. These values, instilled during his formative years, would later become central to Apple's ethos and its mission to challenge the boundaries of what was possible with technology. Section 6. Seeking Enlightenment, Journeys of Self-Discovery. Jobs' spiritual quest led him on a journey of self-discovery that took him far beyond the realm of technology. He traveled to India in search of enlightenment, immersing himself in Eastern spiritual traditions and exploring the nature of consciousness. These experiences left a lasting impact on his outlook on life, his design aesthetic, and his belief in the power of intuition. His interest in Zen Buddhism, with its emphasis on simplicity, mindfulness, and finding beauty in everyday objects, influenced his minimalist design sensibilities. He sought to create products that were not only functional but also aesthetically pleasing, reflecting his belief that technology should be both intuitive and elegant. These spiritual explorations, while seemingly unrelated to his technological pursuits, played a crucial role in shaping his worldview and his approach to design. They instilled in him a deep appreciation for simplicity, elegance, and the importance of connecting with something larger than oneself. These values would later become hallmarks of Apple's products and contribute to the company's global appeal. Section 7. The Woz enters a partnership forged in tech passion. It was during his time at Homestead High that Steve Jobs crossed paths with Steve Wozniak, a fellow electronics enthusiast who would become his partner in founding Apple Computer. Wozniak, a gifted engineer with a knack for hardware design, shared Jobs' passion for technology and his desire to push the boundaries of what was possible. Their friendship, forged over a shared love of electronics and a desire to make technology accessible to everyone, would prove to be one of the most consequential partnerships in the history of computing. Wozniak's technical prowess, combined with Jobs' vision and marketing acumen, created a synergy that would revolutionize the personal computer industry. Their early collaborations involved building and selling blue boxes, devices that allowed users to make free long-distance phone calls. This experience not only honed their technical skills but also gave them a taste of entrepreneurship and the thrill of bringing their creations to market.